As we come on the air tonight, a woman is fighting for her life after police say a man walked into the 7-Eleven where she was working and set her on fire. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Steve Price. In tonight for Carlo. That man was arrested hours later in the Bay Area. CBS 8's Anna Laurel joins us live now from outside the 7-Eleven. It's off Broadway in Chula Vista. She has the very latest. Anna?
You guys, this is just a gruesome, horrible story. The 7-Eleven behind me is closed here today, all day long. Longtime loyal customers have been walking up to the door. There's a little memorial behind me, and they just stand here and cry when they think about what happened to the two employees here this weekend. Tonight, those two employees, two women, are in the hospital for severe burns, and a man who knows one of the women is accused of setting them on fire.
I just live across the street, and so I always stop in and say hello to my friend.
All day long, customers have been stopping by this Chula Vista 7-Eleven to see the store's manager. They call a friend.
I've known her for several years, and she will always talk about, she goes plays bingo at the church on Wednesdays. Very friendly, very nice.
But she's not here, and the store is closed. CBS 8 is not going to name the woman because the police have not, and say she could be a victim of domestic violence.
She was great with the people. I can't believe this happened, but I feel bad, real bad.
Tonight, she's badly burned and fighting for her life in the hospital. A co-worker also in critical condition for severe burns.
It's horrifying. It's horrifying. Everybody jumped on this right from the beginning. We couldn't have somebody out running free that's responsible for an act like this.
Investigators say a homeless man who knew one of the women walked into the 7-Eleven Saturday morning with a flammable liquid and started a fire. When crews arrived, smoke was pouring from the front door of the store. One employee was walking outside, badly burned. The other still inside, on fire. Crews had to go in and rescue her. Witnesses say a man ran out of the burning store, jumped in a car, and took off. Hours later, with the help of an automated license plate reader, police arrested Jose Villanueva in Redlands, California, about 100 miles north. Tonight, he's behind bars in San Diego, and the longtime 7-Eleven customers keep coming by to see the manager, heartbroken by what's happened to the woman they considered a friend.
For second, third degree burns, it can be devastating, especially with the tissue in that. It can alter your whole life.
Alter her whole life. She's fighting for her life tonight, that manager is. Now, Villanueva is set to be in court on Wednesday. He faces multiple felony charges, including first-degree attempted murder, assault with a caustic chemical, and torture. Live out here in Chula Vista, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
All right, Anna, thanks. A man charged with a hit-and-run death of a woman in Logan Heights pleaded not guilty in court today. 31-year-old Eric Rios is accused of hitting and killing 49-year-old LaChana Camfield on August 1st as she was walking in a crosswalk at the intersection of National Avenue and 28th Street. Rios turned himself in 2 weeks later. He is currently free on bail, and the judge is allowing him to be able to continue driving, but only to and from work.
A stolen car led San Diego police to a suspect in a deadly stabbing over the weekend. The body of 55-year-old Francisco Cruz was found Saturday afternoon in his home on Madrone Avenue. His car was reported stolen. So officers entered the license plate number into the automated license plate recognition system, and hours later they got a hit up in Orange County. 22-year-old David Nava is now facing a murder charge. Investigators still trying to determine how those two men knew each other. And we now know the name of a man who drowned at Mission Beach over the weekend. He was just identified by the medical examiner's office.
CBS 8's Brian White has details on what we know so far.
First responders working to save the life of a man who was not breathing after drowning in the ocean at about 2:30 in the morning on Sunday. Despite CPR and chest compressions, the young man was pronounced dead on the sand, his friends embracing one another nearby. The medical examiner's office has identified him as 24-year-old Kevin Dignan, who lived in Austin, Texas, and was visiting friends here in San Diego. Late at night, he and a friend waded into the water near Santa Rita Place and dove in. When his friend surfaced, he couldn't find Kevin. He and the rest of the group began looking and found him lying on the sand, unresponsive, a few yards away. The death has been ruled an accident. The cause? Drowning, due to a cervical spine fracture caused by blunt force injury to the head and neck.
You know, swimming at night is another challenge in itself. You can't see the waves coming in. You can't see the rip currents.
Lieutenant Jacob Magnus with San Diego Lifeguards says it's not a good idea to go swimming in the ocean at night.
We got large surf, rip currents. The bottom of the ocean floor is not like a swimming pool. It's not flat. So you have deep spots, shallow spots, and you can't see where those are.
This comes less than 2 months after 25-year-old Oakland firefighter Caden Laffin drowned in Pacific Beach after entering the water near Grand Avenue at about 2 o'clock in the morning. His body recovered 200 yards away on the north side of the Crystal Pier. He was in town with family and friends for the firefighter Olympic Games. Lieutenant Magnus tells me lifeguards are on duty this time of year from 9 a.m. until the sun goes down, currently 8 p.m. And after that, they're not actively observing the water, which makes nighttime swimming even more dangerous.
You can become very disoriented, lose track of where the shoreline is, and being able to see your way back to the beach is difficult.
According to the medical examiner, Dignan's family has been notified, and it's unknown whether or not alcohol played any role in this. In Mission Beach, Brian White, CBS 8.
Thanks, Brian. Just into our newsroom, a federal judge in Texas is temporarily pausing new protections from the Biden administration that would allow immigrant spouses of U.S. citizens a path to citizenship. The order comes after 16 states, led by Republican attorneys general, filed a lawsuit last week claiming the program would encourage illegal immigration. The program launched in June, and the application process has been open for a week. The policy offers the spouses of U.S. citizens without legal status a chance to apply for a green card and stay in the U.S. while going through the process. The judge's order put the program on pause for at least 2 weeks while the challenge continues. The city of San Diego is repairing a major leak in a 36-inch water main off of Black Mountain Road in Rancho Penasquitos.
CBS 8's David Gottfredson has been working for you on this story to investigate reports of water that was flooding backyards in the neighborhood for several months.
The city of San Diego had to bring in heavy equipment to dig down and locate the break in this 36-inch water main at the foot of Black Mountain on Carmel Valley Road. Repairs started on Wednesday, and within days, neighbor John Jeskowiak noticed the water flow from his backyard almost completely dried up.
Something that the city is doing up there is making an improvement, because this water just slowed down and stopped here in literally 24 hours.
John has been in contact with CBS 8 ever since we started reporting 2 weeks ago on flooding in people's backyards in Rancho Penasquitos below Black Mountain.
I saw your report on the houses that had flooding in their backyard.
Last week, mountain biker Amy Harris emailed me about the water flowing near the entrance to Black Mountain Open Space Park, and within 2 days, city workers responded.
I didn't think I was going to even get a response, and then here you were on Monday, and now there's trucks out there and the road's closed, so it's pretty exciting.
The large water transmission line connects to a cement reservoir above the neighborhood on the side of Black Mountain. Recycled water is stored in a nearby green water tank at the same location. Unfortunately, the water flow continues farther downstream on Westcott Court. 3 next-door neighbors here have dug trenches into their backyards so they can pump the water out to the street. I reached out to the city for an update. A spokesperson said crews dug 3 trenches along Black Mountain Road last week and found no signs of a leak in the underground water mains between Calle de Vista Oeste and Westvale Road. Crews will continue to investigate the area this week. It's still going to take a couple more days to finish repairs on this water main. We'll keep monitoring the neighbors' backyards down below to see if it has any effect on the water flow. David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Don't mess with David. He always gets the answers. All right, remember, if there is something you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Well, San Diego Pride has just named its new executive director. It's Leanne Marchese.
CBS 8 was there for Marchese's first day in her new role. She is an Encinitas native and previously served on the Pride board in the mid-2000s, so she knows the organization well. She is the founding executive director of Life Science Cares San Diego and also has had leadership roles with the YMCA of San Diego County and Elder Help.
Got the call, came as a call. I was like, Wow, are you serious?
Gardenia. Well, of course. Oh my gosh. I'm home. And I see.
Marchese is replacing the interim co-executive directors Jen LaBarbera and Serafina Scapiccio. Both will remain with San Diego Pride, returning to their previous roles. It is back to school for thousands of students across the county. We'll have more on that still ahead.
Plus, the new proposal aimed at cracking down on cell phone use inside the classroom.
And a look at the new Herculean help that CAL FIRE is adding to its fleet to be better prepared to fight wildfires.
Lots of sunshine to kick off our week and also some heat. Temperatures warmed up a little bit more to start things off. But what about the rest of the week? We'll have all those details coming